How to Find the Literary Man by Daniel Roberts. It's that time of the week again, the time where we sit as a literary community and hash it out over the state of men in fiction publishing and complain about space on bookshelves and proportional representation, yada, yada, yada. While I find statistics intriguing, the almost complete absence of male librarians, for example, I'm going to focus my attention elsewhere. You see, the absence of the literary man is not a proportional issue. It is a marketing one. The literary man of today is not gone. He's just kind of hard to find. But I found him. Let me tell you how. I decided to dive in head first into this dying industry 5 years ago by writing a detective novel. I really like Elmore Leonard's nasty villains and Carl Hyacин's humorous forays into human deceit and chaos. So I wrote one like that. Then I went to try and query it. Now, those two are exceptional. Their work is unmatched, which is to say, I am not them. But I was presented with a critique of my query that set me on a path to the literary man. The critique was simple, but what has been published like that lately? I had no answer. I was still reading those. Who's doing that? I have no clue. So I went looking on X, it being home to the, albeit brief, written word. I started looking around for hot covers because that is how books work. The most intriguing covers I found were coming out of a press in West Virginia called Shotgun Honey. The founder and owner, Ron Earl Phillips, makes them. His press focuses on rural crime lit. There I found an interesting book titled A Seance for Wicked King Death. It was written by a history professor named Coy Hall. The book is great, by the way. It's 1950s noir about a down-on-his-luck cinephile and seance-leading con man whose past comes back to haunt him. Turns out Coy runs his own independent press, the Scythian Wolf, and writes a lot of good books. His most recent is an occult sci-fi novel titled The Owl Men of Shanidar. It is about mystics on another planet who worship extinct animal bones. A canticle for Leibowitz, eat your heart out. After that, it was quite easy to find all sorts of literary men. The algorithm pointed me to dudes like Craig Turtley Turleson and his Luke Fisher series, and others who were more than happy to give me contemporary reading suggestions. Male authors love to shoot the shit online, and they love engaging with fans. Our society is atomized. The literary man finds community in exchanging memes and gifs about our favorite lines in literary debates. You find someone with a hot take or an original thought, and you follow them on X. Then, when their book comes out, you buy it, or they send you an ARC, because they want to know what you think. Literary men love the idea of earning the respect of their peers. That's why they do it. The literary man wants to share their vision and their passion and their ideas. They're not emotionally stunted doorknobs resistant to being turned. Just push on them like an old-timey swinging door in a Western. They're happy to let you in. I find literary men actually have lots of emotions. Premier amongst them is pride. They take incredible pride in their work and in their growth and ability and knowledge. Some mistake this for a sense of entitlement. It's not. The cry, "Why can I not get read?" is an initial impulse that goes away when someone finally reads you, and you get that sense of community and that sense of respect. Literary men do not have an expectation to dominate industry in perpetuity. They want a quick path to eyes. Time is of the essence and always burning. Literary men are ambitious. Being in a rush for an audience is painfully normal and universal. Ironically, this sense of despair tends to go away when literary men do what they do best: independence. I know this because I talk to literary men. I read their books. They are terrific. Literary men take pride in their books. They also take pride in contributing to the realm of literary endeavor. I recently met John F. Duffy. He he founded Picket Fire Press. He publishes his books there and will soon publish other people's books. His goal is to produce as many fine works of contemporary literature as the previous book's profit will permit him. His pride and passion are infectious. It will come out in the works he plans to publish. They will be incredible. If I have any critique about the industry, it is that the people who make money selling romance seem to disregard the potential of passion. I think this is why they struggle to market literary men. They celebrate the author who endures speaking for 2 hours to an empty room, but they don't bet on the people who will bootstrap a book into existence. Just give the literary man an opportunity. I know literary men who would burst through a wall like the Kool-Aid Man and learn to fly a plane so they could advertise with skywriting, if only they had a chance at a dais and a prime table slot in a Barnes & Noble. So why doesn't publishing try to hire literary men to pick their next investment? Why are they not looking at scrappy independent go-getters? There are people like John F. Duffy at Picket Fire who could show you how to make excellence by rubbing 2 dimes together. Why not find a way to invest in him based on his model? Alas, to those who are still worried, let me comfort you. There is no dearth of literary men. You just don't have a map to find them yet. That is because they are too busy blazing a trail in the wilderness. They survive by boiling their own water and skinning squirrels for sustenance. The contemporary literary man kind of likes it that way. Still, if you offered them a power bar, they would take it. It's frankly silly that the rest of us try to find them on well-worn urban avenues of the New Yorker. Try treating reading like an adventure where you pack a lunch and experience some mild discomfort. Then you just might find a literary man sleeping under a log. They'll be there ready to shed a coat of leaves and treat you to a succulent meal of venison and wild blueberries. After that mild bit of exercise, it may taste better than any meal you've ever had. Thank you. My name is Dan Roberts, and I host the Dad Lit Pod, available on Apple and Spotify, where I interview literary men and also women about books by dads, for dads, and about dads. You can find me on X at the Dad Lit Pod.